Coming up on Valley News Live at 6, why a local man wants to meet the person who shot him and nearly took his life.
After last summer's disaster in the FM area with mosquito spraying and butterflies, what Moorhead is considering this year.
And some good news, how the community is responding to our food drive to keep kids from going hungry. Valley News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 6.
New tonight at 6, it's been nearly 6 months after a man was shot in the back of the head in downtown Fargo. And tonight we can report he's almost made a full recovery.
It's a story we first brought to you last November after Fargo police say 23-year-old Nathaniel Benton shot Nathan Crawford near the 100 block of Roberts Street on Halloween night.
Now, days later, law enforcement officials in Wisconsin would arrest Benton after they say he gunned down 2 Milwaukee area police officers. Today,
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke with Crawford on his recovery and why he plans to make a jail visit to the man who almost took his life. It's a story you'll only see here on Valley News Live.
Last time we spoke with Nathan Crawford, he was in a wheelchair, almost blind, and had multiple staples in the back of his head. Stitching together an injury doctors said should have killed him. But now,
other than the headaches and the ringing in the ears, I'm almost ready to go back to work.
2.5 months of bed rest and weeks of rehab have brought Crawford back to almost 100%.
Can't knock me down.
Crawford now lives within just a block or two of where he was shot, which, along with his lingering side effects, can be a daunting reminder of his argument gone south with a man he says he barely knew.
Yeah, I think about it every time I walk by there. Every time I walk down Robert Street by the fire station, I still do think about him because with my vision being bad, sometimes I think I see him.
But Crawford says he's not letting his shooter, Nathaniel Benton, hold power over him for much longer, saying he'll be celebrating this Halloween a little differently, planning to road trip to Wisconsin where Benton is jailed and confronting him.
I could look him in the eye and let him know that he didn't do anything except for make my life just a little bit more uncomfortable, but nothing compared to how uncomfortable his life's going to be.
Until then, Crawford says he's focusing on his second chance at life, thankful for another day that brings him one step closer to normal life. In downtown Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Benton is charged with 1 count of attempted murder here in Cass County. A warrant is out for his arrest, but he won't be tried until after his case in Wisconsin. Crawford's friends and family have set up a GoFundMe to help with his many medical bills, and you can find it on our VNL News app. Just click on this story.
So much for Thursday's much nicer weather, and when Hutch is using the word unsettled in his forecasting, I'm a little leery of what's to come. So let's begin by finding out about tonight. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. Yes, we saw temperatures go from those 60-degree readings all the way down into the 30s today. Some big-time changes with a little bit of snow making its way into the Grand Forks area. Some clearing taking place in Devil's Lake behind the system as it works its way through. Aerial coverage of the snow diminishing and the intensity diminishing. The most intense band right here moving into Grand Forks County and western Polk County. So Grand Forks East, Grand Forks, just a few flakes out there. Not even going to really wet the streets too much out there. Just a few flakes flying as temperatures have slipped from the 40s earlier today down into the 30s for many of us. 43 still in Wadena at this hour. 36 in Fargo tonight in the 8 o'clock hour. As the wind tapers off a little bit, the clouds will decrease overnight. And that means a very chilly start to your weekend. Speaking of which, we're going to have some good outdoor time this weekend to get out and do some things, but also some unsettled weather. Once again, Mike, I'll tell you what I'm talking about here in a minute, but it could include some showers of rain or snow. Details in a few.
Can't wait. Thanks.
Okay, if you are just getting home late this afternoon, a U.S. health panel says it's time to resume use of Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine, despite a very rare risk of blood clots. Advisors to the CDC said the vaccine's benefits outweigh the serious but small risk. Out of nearly 8 million people vaccinated before the U.S. suspended J&J's shot, health officials uncovered 15 cases of a highly unusual kind of blood clot, 3 of them fatal. All were women, most younger than 50.
COVID-19 vaccine shots are going to be offered at an upcoming Essentia Health Clinic in Wahpeton. They'll be on May 6th from 8 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. The Pfizer-BioNTech shot will be offered for North Dakota residents who are at least 16 years old. Patients under the age of 18 must bring a consent form signed by their parent or legal guardian to be eligible for the shot. Now, you don't need to be an Essentia Health patient to get the vaccine. Both walk-in availability and scheduled appointments will be available. Also, keep this in mind. If you're looking for places to get a COVID vaccine shot, use our VNL Vaccine Tracker. You can open your phone camera and point it to the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. It's also right on the homepage of our website.
Many people want to get vaccinated but don't have a way to get to their appointment. MapBus is offering free rides to your COVID vaccine appointments. Riders can take one free round trip for each of their 2 vaccine appointments. As you board, you just tell the driver that you're traveling to or from your official vaccine site. These rides are also available for MAT paratransit riders.
There's word that former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will be sentenced on June 16th. As you know by now, a jury found Chauvin guilty on charges of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Chauvin faces up to 40 years in prison. His attorneys will have 60 days to appeal the outcome.
We are a few months away from summer, but the city of Moorhead is already looking ahead to see if it should spray for mosquitoes. A resolution to approve the 2021 Cass County Vector Control Agreement is on the agenda for Monday's meeting. Council members say it will likely be a discussion. The move to stop aerial spraying for mosquitoes has been discussed since last August, when many dead butterflies were found as a result of the spraying.
This is the time of year where you might see potholes on the roads. If your car gets damaged, you may be eligible for compensation through the Minnesota Department of Transportation. Now, the department is saying it always depends on the situation. For more information on how to file a claim, you can find this story in our VNL News app and click on this story.
Governor Doug Burgum has signed a bill protecting businesses from COVID-19 lawsuits. The new law will ban employees from suing their employer if they think they contracted COVID while on the job. The bill also applies to hospitals and healthcare providers, so people cannot sue the facility for damages.
We know more now than we did then, but we know that North Dakotans were always doing the best they could with the information they had at the time that they were facing these emergencies.
Those opposed to it are concerned that this will let bad actors slip through the legal cracks and not be held accountable for dangerous work conditions. Governor Burgum and others said the bill doesn't protect businesses if they were willful in misconduct.
Here's some good news for students enrolled in the Fargo Public School System. You're going to be able to get free meals next school year. These meals are funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Students were able to get free meals this school year thanks to the USDA as the country continued to recover from COVID-19. Fargo Public Schools says more details are expected next week. You can find additional information on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com.
Great things are happening as we continue to partner with the Golden Drive to help children in need across our community. Due to overwhelming support from many of you, we're going to keep the food drive going for another week. Here's a look at how much food has been collected since Monday. Hundreds of items like noodles, chips, Pop-Tarts, bottled water, and juice boxes will go to help local kids facing food insecurity. Every item collected, big or small, makes a big difference.
It doesn't take a lot to make a difference. This affects their health, their learning. This food is so important. You know, right now the kids, even before, this pandemic, it was hard. It was really hard.
We're hoping that you want to get involved. You can drop off food donations at the West Fargo Fire Department anytime between 7 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon next week.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, what's behind the North Dakota's multi-million-dollar surplus surrounding the cost of busing students?
We had morning rain showers and temperatures that were in the mid-40s early, but north winds ushered in those 30s here to the Southern Valley, and now a few flakes on the radar. I'll have hour-by-hour details on where these are heading and what you can anticipate as we head through your weekend ahead. Your forecast is coming up next.